What's going on with this? I don't understand why. Cause everything okay was. I don't understand why I'm playback. Yes. 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 I don't know if anybody can hear me. Yes. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Yes. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can hear me. Can you just confirm to me that my voice is coming out? I've got a little bit of issues technically here. Everything was fine. So if anybody can hear me, can you just confirm to me that my voice is coming out so I can just proceed because I can't. What I'm getting here, I won't be able to go through our app this evening for some obvious reason. There's a little bit of technical issue here. But if anyone is hearing me, just let me know, please. This is a big issue. I don't know why this happened. I haven't got a clue why this happened. There's no one there to aid me. Okay. So far as I'm concerned, I think my voice is coming out here. Um, my voice is coming out. There's a bit of technical issue. I'm not gonna be in details in that, but the only thing I can say is that I won't be able to go through our app tonight for some obvious reason. I don't know what happened, but it is technical. So, but I'm going to proceed with the what I have already arranged to do. So it won't change anything so far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that is how it's going to be because the whole system now. I'm not going to log off. I just want a quick broadcast. So our app is not gonna be on tonight. For those listening to me, I know that my voice is out there on Facebook, all our platforms. This evening, you can only not hear us live now on Biafra app radio. So bear with us. This is a bit of technical issue. So apologies for that. This will be sorted out, but as it stands, I'm going to carry on with what I have this evening. It's going to be a short one on just limited to our social media platform, which is Facebook and and Twitters and YouTube. So my apologies, please.
Gonna tell you my story now, and that happened at Port Harcourt, you know. I got a city, a lovely place. Don't regret and to Johannesburg. I haven't got plenty money on me, but I was stranded in Port Harcourt, you know. If I happen to enter in a pub as a patriot, you just around me. They say they like me, they love me, they love me, they love my beautiful voice. Please sing our song, only song can do. Please sing our song, only song can do. I taste too many honeys and that's not what I'm looking for. I taste too many lips and that's not what I'm looking for. All I want is not but faith of money for my family. I'm not here for a pleasure trip. I'm only here for a business trip. Happened at Port Harcourt, you know. A garden city. I love the place. Don't reply like to Johannesburg. If I happen to enter in a pub house, about 20 guys around me. Say they like me, they love me, they love me, they love my beautiful voice. Please sing our song, only song can do, my love. Please sing our song, only song can do.
Good evening, fellow comrades and lovers of freedom. My name's Mazi Umeh. I reside here in United Kingdom, and this is Biafra Radio, and this is Good Evening London. My apologies, we have some technical issues here, and I'm not going to be coming up on video this evening. I'm definitely going to be at the back of the studio. And our app, unfortunately, you cannot listen to us as it stands now on Biafra Radio app, but you can listen to us simultaneously in every other platform, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, as I'm reaching you out here from United Kingdom. And today is the 21st day of year of our Lord of October 2023, and it's 57 minutes on top of the hour here, United Kingdom, 8 p.m., presumably the same time in the Holy Land of Biafra. I thank you, fellow comrades and lovers of freedom. And it is quite unfortunate. It's a system issue. I don't want to reboot this system because it's going to mess a lot of things up. So definitely, I'm gonna go ahead this evening, and wherever you are listening to us from now, please make sure you share this program and tell your neighbors and friends that Biafra is here. We go nowhere. Biafra Radio has come to stay, and this is the mouthpiece of Biafra as it stands today. And this evening, today, I'm definitely a title that is "Who is Your Legends?" Because it's very, very important that we define who we are. But before I go into what I want to talk about this evening, first and foremost, I want unequivocally to, unwavering the support of Biafra. We stand with Israel, because so many of us has forgotten that when our leader was, invaded in 2017, utmost to kill him in our Quebec that took 28 men's life with Jack. And our leader managed to escape that onslaught. And after 13 months, he was surfaced in Israel, the Holy Land of Israel. And he was given that platform on national television. He was interviewed. And our leader make it bold to say that the state of Israel, protected him. And that was the first time he made allegiance to any country in this world. And Biafrans must understand that this is not personal. This is our identity. And regardless of the propaganda that people want to bring into this, it's not about religion, but it's a fact of life. We stand with Israel because what happened to Israel is an onslaught. Such thing has never witnessed in anywhere in the world. Is beyond 9/11. It's only Holocaust, as we say, and what is going on in Biafra land today. You can imagine what happened in Israel on the 7th of October. But it's written, all these things must come to pass. But the good thing is that Israel is pushed back because, when you live with your enemies, it is very, very, very faint. But I know that at the end of the day, that this fight will be won. And our heart goes to those innocent individuals that have caught up in the middle of this menace of the so-called extremists that want to hoist their flag in every nook and cranny of the world. Even United Kingdom here, they've taken over Birmingham. I've got no problem with what you worship. Israel is a free land, and the same way Biafra land is going to be a free land of everybody owes to their own worship. It's very, very important. But we must condemn it in totality, unequivocal. What happened on the 7th of October? That was a terrorist attack. Such thing has never been seen before on that magnitude. If Israel was not standing on its feet by now, they would be threatened. That is what that attack is all about. And anybody that kept silent on this, and we are fighting to restore Biafra because Israel, don't forget that Israel have to fight back in 1947 to regain. I'm going to play the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's in one of his interviews, very short one on 3 minutes. It's very, very important that we make this a session. Regardless how anybody might think or how you feel, doesn't mean anything to me. And I believe that our leader will reiterate this unequivocal in the sense that what happened, regardless the both side Palestinians, we call them Palestinians, they have the right to leave, but they have two states. And Israel have given them the Gaza, which they allow, Hamas to take over. And what happened is not something anybody could turn a blind eye on or be political incorrectness with it. We condemn it unequivocally, and our support to Israel's unwavering. Biafra stand with Israel, regardless what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter. We are not into religious war, but whenever you see evil, you must condemn it in totality. It's a common sense for every human being, because anyone that took life, you know what it is. Those that are killed by the sword must surely go down by the sword. You cannot provoke Israel and you want them to fold their hands and watch you. When you see they massacre, they beheaded little children in their homes, unprovoked attack. The same thing we suffered in the Holy Land of Biafra today is what our cousins are suffering in Israel. And any one of us that sees this and turn a blind eye, I don't know what you are thinking about. And people should be focused on things that matter this time. Because one of the messages that our erudite special counsel said, that Onyenu said, that we must keep focus. And that's exactly what we are doing here this evening. Like I said, before I go forward, I will definitely play Netanyahu's, one of his interviews is about 3 minutes. I want that interview to play in this platform for our people to understand the position and how things are with them. Very, very important. I know that all of us are watching it. Some of us are pretending that we don't know what is going on. We are suffering the same thing because everything that happened in our land is unprovoked, even though we don't have the capacity to defend ourselves, because our sovereignty was stolen from us, and that is why we are fighting for. That is why our leader is in DSS dungeon today, regardless people, parambrating around on the jamborees. That is not what it's all about. Freedom, it is not a wishful thinking, and it must be in your homeland to profess freedom. Very, very important. It's pivotal. Israel have to recruit themselves from the former Soviet Union to go back in 1947 to withstand and fight the onslaught of British. British was the people that created Palestine, because you can't find it anywhere in the Bible. Palestine you can find, but Palestine was not anywhere in any Bible or Quran. It's not there. All these things was orchestrated. That's like the way they came to the zoo and find out that the southern and northern potato, the northern potato cannot survive. They have to emerge forcefully to live with them. That is why all of us are in exile. But the good thing is that we still have our land. But Israel, they never had their land, because Israel is fine geographically, is in Africa, because they have border with Egypt. Some of us don't realize this. The Red Sea or the artificial sea they built, because they have technology. If they allow us to annex that, endowment naturally God has given us, this is what they are scared of, Biafrans. Nothing else, because they know when we merge, things are not going to be the same. So we profess tonight that unequivocally, Biafra stand with Israel. Now I'm going to play Netanyahu's interview before I will definitely go into what I came to do here this evening.
Israel, what is now the state of Israel, have lived here and have been attached to this place for about 3,500 years, 3.5 millennia. Now, roughly for 2,000 years, we were conquered by the Romans. We were conquered by the Byzantines. They did a lot of bad things to us, but they didn't really exile us, contrary to what people think, okay? The loss of our land actually occurred when the Arab conquest took place in the 7th century. The Arabs burst out from Arabia, and they did something that no other conqueror, not the Romans, not the Byzantines, not the Greeks before them, not Alexander the Great, nobody did. They actually started taking over the land of the Jewish farmer. They brought in military colonies that took over the land. And gradually over the next 2 centuries, the Jews became a minority in our land. So it is under the Arab conquest that the Jews lost their homeland. The Arabs were the colonials. The Jews were the natives dispossessed. Well, that happens in history. The Jews were dispossessed. We were flung to the far corners of the earth, suffered unimaginable suffering because we had no homeland, but we didn't disappear, and we never gave up the dream of coming back to our ancestral homeland. The Arabs who had conquered the land basically left it barren. They never made it their own. It was a barren land. It really had, practically, it was an empty land. And in the 19th century, the idea of coming back next year in Jerusalem became a reality. By the way, in part because of Christian Zionist support for the idea of the Great Return. The Jews came back in the 19th century to the land of Israel. The result of this return was that we started building farms, factories, places of employment, Arabs from nearby countries started immigrating, and they now they call themselves Palestinians. They reconstructed history and said, we've been here for centuries. You have no right to be here. It's our land. It's not your land. It's been our land for 3,500 years. If you took over somebody's apartment, knocked them out, dispossessed them, and they never gave up the claim. They said, it's our claim. And you left this barren dump, okay? And the families, the progeny of the people you kicked out, came back, rebuilt the house. You cannot come back and tell them, you don't belong here, we're gonna kick you out, especially since you're latecomers who've come to live in part of the house, which is what the so-called Palestinians are, okay? We say to them, you can live here, we can live here, but it's our land, it's our state. And the reason this conflict continues is because the Palestinians, who represent the colonial powers, the Arab conquest of the Middle East and beyond, they're saying, you have no right for a Jewish state. Well, we do. If any people has any right to a state, if any people never gave up their dreams of returning to their ancestral home, the Jews belong to this land belongs to the Jews. The Palestinians are free to live here next to us, among us, but they're not free to demand the dissolution of the Jewish state. That is not justice, that is injustice. That's the shortest lecture I can give you about Jewish history.
Yes, the reason why I play this particular interview is very, very incisive for some of us who does not understand the conflict between the Israel and Palestinian, and how Palestine was actually created. So, and what is going on is just like what we are going through today. We see how systematically British is behind all these things, right? The same thing they did to us is what they have done to the Jews, the one that is in the Holy Land today. And we are struggling now. We see what is happening in Biafra land. And God forbid, if Usman Damfodi wish they would dip the Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. That is what the advancement is all about. Some of us don't realize what they are. This is a jihadist war. That's why they call all their kit and kin across the sub-Sahara Africa to come for their aid, because they're claiming that they're cattle rearers. Cattle rearers don't carry AK-47 assault rifle that even the police in the zoo enclave does not have the right to carry. So it's very, very important that majority of us realize and understand the history behind what is happening in Israel today, and the same thing that we are facing in Biafra land as we speak. That's not different. That's not different. But the only thing is that Israel stands on its feet. We are not. That's the only difference, to defend ourselves. Because we are slave in our own father's backyard. That's why all of us are on exile. And that's the reason why Mazi Umeh can still remain in DSS dungeon, because he believes that our people were born as a human being and we deserve to live as a human being, to make our own choice. That's why we're asking for referendum. Nothing else we ask for. It's purely referendum. Today, this evening broadcast was an emergency, but I see so many mistakes I've made this evening and technical issues, but it's what it is, and my apologies. But this this gospel must be preached, regardless what has come out of it, and it will be broadcast again. So now I just want to listen to our erudite barrister Aloy Jimako and a couple of tweets that he tweeted. I'm going to talk about it before I go into my question tonight to every sincere IPOB member. And yes, I'm definitely going to come into that. But firstly, let's just listen to him.
Adjudicated by the Court of Appeal expeditiously. We had this very strong confidence that the appeal has a lot of merit.
I don't know what's going on with this. Like I said, there's so many issues. I haven't got a clue if it's a network. I don't know. To be honest, this video has refused to play for some obvious reason. I don't know why, There's so many things that is not working properly this evening, and it kind of beat me down a little bit. You know what I mean? But what can I do? The video has refused to play for some reason. I don't know. So I think this is probably the system I'm using. This is the only thing I can is not upgrading because I don't see any sign of upgrading here. I was in these systems, an hour prior before I come on air, and I don't know what happened. So I just want to go into couple tweets from Barrister Lawyer Jumako. Very, very important. This was on the 20th, which is yesterday. And I wanted that video to play because he highlighted something about the issue going on in the court. So this is very important. There was a time he came up that Onyendu instructed him to make tweets, and he's been very, very prudent on what he does, you know what I mean, and what he's been employed to do as a special counsel to our leader. And this is what he said yesterday. Excuse me, he said, in the midst of the blunted blackmails and silly infight and the self-destructive treats from within, there is an unfinished tax. Hatch Freemason Nandikana. It is the mother of all tax at the moment. It is my tax and your tax, and it is not over yet. I am fully focused on it. What about you? Very, very important question. And it's just boiled down to what I'm asking about the allegiance, which I'm going to talk about. It's like I've gone through this tweet, but I haven't actually read it to digest it a little bit because I know whatever he says always makes a meaning. Very, very important. And what we are calling fellow comrades and lovers of freedom across the globe, an IPOB. Biafra restoration is not a jamboree. It's not a wishful thinking. It is not a social club. This is a freedom fighting that requires constructive argument, superior one in that matter. If you can override what has been there before, then you have a case. But if you have got nothing that have override what you saw, that means you aren't going anywhere. Very, very important. But you see this all infighting because we knew from onset, we are shouting. So many people didn't hear what we are saying. But thank God that every broadcast we made, when we finally found out what was going on, is there. Social media does not lie. It can go back on UK media and found everything we have said in the past before Biafra Radio was authorized by our leader because our mouthpiece was, bastardized. Then you can see what this, I don't know how to describe Abaloye Jimako because, the man is doing his job with all due respect. But issue of our leader and how he handled it onto the profession, on the high esteem of professionalism, I must say. Without any mixing mic, not Mike's words. It doesn't mix words. We know what happened. It's not what I'm here to talk about. This is one of the tweets, but very important. Blackmailing and sitting in fighting has been the self-destructive. It's been there. And my question is this: why are you losing focus? Onyendu have advised that we all must keep focus. Our leader is in DSS dungeon. All of us are having a field day. Is it what we sworn an oath to do? I don't think so. The second one is the Mazi Umeh is very crucial for any key discussion, and it is not possible to negotiate any peace while he's still in detention. It will be joy of Igbos, which I will include Biafrans at large. I think Occurrence was saying this. Igbo people to see Mazi Umeh, which is falsely his own, his own kingsman released from detention, Chief Iwe, president of Occurrence Ndibo, and so-called official Abat or whatever they call his name, Jagaban. We know he's playing to the script, and we not be distracted about it. But thank God there's people that are still honest to themselves and doing the right thing. And the third one is a liberation movement is not a cult. The liberation of Nigeria, India, etc. from colonialism was not done by only one movement, a cult or a clique. In liberation struggle, every agitator is entitled to his own method, since any hindrances from following agitators. Stay in your lane. Very, very important. Now, I don't know if some people understand exactly what all this tweet came out yesterday. We are not against anybody that have any vision, whatnot, to pursue your own view. If you feel that you have what it takes for you to get us Biafra, I don't have problem with that. The only way I have issues is when people doing things contrary to what we have assigned to do. And that is why this evening, my fundamental question that I have asked is, who owns your allegiance? Very, very important. Do you understand what allegiance is? Because over time, all of us sworn an oath that allegiance come by oath, but it come in different categories. But I must tell you something. When it has to do with allegiance, loyalty is very, very pivotal. Loyalty is very, very pivotal, because at the end of the day, we can read about it, what it comprises, but very important. I can lick a chunk of our code of our oath here, which is not meant for public. Only those that is an IPOB member. But I can say the norms is loyalty or commitment of a subordinate to a superior or an individual to a group or cause. Very important. But what do we find here? The word that struck me here is the loyalty. There we find obedience, devotion, bond, truthness, truth. But the point I'm making tonight is you. Because some of us are junketing. Thinking that, I don't know how to say this. What exactly are we pursuing as a people? Because if you're trying to build an alliances with any country in the world, like our leader have said to us in the past, that he have traveled and have meeting series with the European Union and a couple of some American Senate. The question people are asking you, what are you doing? Now, issue of Biafra. Before now, all of us know 2012, 13, 14, when you type Biafra in Google, it gives you that was a wrong. That's an error. Biafra was an error from 2012, 13. It was on 15 that Google adopted Biafra again. And when you Google it, what you will see is Mazi Umeh that revived Biafra again with a very solemn agenda to restore Biafra. Very, very important. And before Onyendu decamped from Mossab, there was a clear vision, because the person that was spearheading it lost vision. Now, my question to you, who owns your allegiance? Because it's very, very important. Now, we are pursuing to restore Biafra. Everybody can assume or now try to. This is not, it's not like a Pentecostal church where people, come in and serve their master and now decamp and build their own church. This is not what IPOB and Biafra restoration is all about. Or now we are career freedom fighters. Or now we are trying to, make living out of the sorrow of our people. This is not why, and this is not what this is all about, because I guarantee you that if Onyendu have such notion, why would he spend almost 26 months in DSS dungeon, give up his two parents' life, and so many of us that have died in course of this journey, if it was about just to, mimicking or playing around or, to show off that we are doing something? No, I don't think so. So my question to you is that, who owns your allegiance? Mazi Umeh is in DSS dungeon. Do you know why? It's because the oath he took is contrary, is holding him responsible. Onyendu made the same day he said he will sacrifice anything sacrificable. He said that any day he dreamed about betraying Biafra, if Chukwuka Biama does not destroy him and his entire generation, that you know that Kokabama does not exist. And some of you think that this is a joke. We are not looking for who to lead us or who to direct us because we have one leader, and that leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But one thing I must tell you tonight is that go back and sober reflection and ask yourself this question: who owns your allegiance? Because it's very, very important. We cannot be unstable and showing the world that we are unruling. Because anybody you go to today to seek allegiance with them, alliance with them, they definitely have some fundamental question to ask you. They definitely, because everything in social media is powerful. The message will resonate anywhere. You might be thinking that what is going on within us, people don't know. They know. And the people knew that the person that actually, I call it golden egg. Biafra is so lucky that we have someone that is dedicated to this. Our leader have an option. But you know that if you take that path, it's going to be catastrophic. And the majority of us does not understand what it entails. That's why my question to you is that who owns your allegiance? Now, so many people, just like Madamanya came on air yesterday talking about finance, people take laws into their hands. People went ahead, grossing subordination against the highest command within IPOB. And how the heck in the world do you think when you break is a practical, thing? I can give you an example. Not my older son, the oldest one I'm living with here in the house. Sometimes I will tell him to do things, but if you see me do it, you question me. He said, "But Daddy, but you just did that now." But sometimes I will say, "But why are you asking me that question?" It's silly because it is not Onyendu never. What Onyendu taught us, Onyendu, what Onyendu preach is what he do. He does not ask us to follow his preachings and forget about his attitude or how he behave. No, we have not found Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanting in anywhere, and he made it abundantly clear. My joy is that Onyendu is not there because me and you put him in the position. Our leader studied Igbo race for 12 good years before he embarked upon this journey. It's just like when Peter Obi emerged. Some of you, I remember some people call me on phones. Why don't we saw Peter Obi obedient? They know that our people are gullible. The most gullible species of human being on earth is Igbo Biafrans. We are very, very easy to be cowed because we like gallivanting. We like, showing off unnecessarily. Living a lavish life that makes no sense. People are now running around wasting money without even focusing on the main thing. Our leader in this DSS dungeon, how many of you people that are shouting today know the welfare, how our leader survived in DSS? It's very, very important. It's an eyesore. So how the heck in the world, if you proving that you want to lead people tomorrow, now our leader has been an exemplar. Because some majority of you did not know that Owazike never went to prison because of Biafra. Where did they try him? Which court of law did they try Owazike? Whose experience is court hearing and all that? No, that was an issue. It wasn't for Biafra because he wasn't seeking to restore Biafra. We know the whole history. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been only one have stood his ground with a clear vision. And make it clear. He saw me playing Netanyahu's interview. He give you a bit of history of Israel. I don't want it to come from my mouth. Which we already know, and our position today, we've been in the same position. But the only good thing is that we still have access to our ancestral lands. They didn't. They have to go back and fight for it. So how do you think that people that want to build an alliance with you, when they saw that you people are unruling and unstable, your leader is in DSS now, representing you, hoping that you people will listen to him and do whatever he asks you to do. Nelson Mandela, people might say, oh, in the times of Nelson Mandela, there was some people that should not to listen to him. But those people might behave, they were not listening to him. But the things they are doing We are not contradicting him being in prison because they know. There's many ways to be pressure those that are held in our leader. Very, very important. But the attitude I'm talking about tonight, it is your allegiance. Because if, for instance, if I'm not a Biafran and I decided to go into research about what has happened for the past 10 years, that now we type Biafra on Google and who has been the leader of this particular group, and found out what is happening now and the behavior of the same people, because you can see there is no. I saw something today. Master Prophet put up and saying that Biafra, that they have turned Biafra to like a child's play. You can't take that away. That's a fact. But I will say to him that Biafra will never be a child's play because it's beyond me and you. It's a spiritual thing. Very, very important. Our leader will not be languishing in DSS dungeon. All of us in our homes, we kiss our kids goodbye. We go to our daily stuff. It does it. There's no amount of money in this world that can equate to that sacrifice. And it's fundamental. So that is the reason why I'm asking you, who owns your allegiance? Very, very important. How are you going to face Mazi Umeh tomorrow? You know what gives me joy over time is that I knew and I believe that our leader Mazi Umeh was not, he didn't call himself the same Holy Land of Israel. That's one thing some of you don't realize. Onyendu said the first time he visited the Holy Land of Israel and praying in the war, a voice came to him. He said, "Go back and rebuild my people." Onyendu ignored it. That is why when Radio Biafra was established, I think in 2012 or 24, when they started it falsely, Onyendu wasn't anchoring it. And he went back again. He said the same voice came back and said, "Go back and rebuild my people, but you must do me one thing." He said, regardless what it might be, it doesn't matter. It's in point of death that he must not lie. And as we can see that our leader still remains who he is. He never changes. All this whole thing emanated, that message was given in the Holy Land of Israel. That is why we must not play, because that is interconnected with us, regardless how we want to talk about. This is not about color issue, because every human being on earth was created by us. But we don't want to take offense on that, but that's a fact. Scientifically and genetically, we can assert to that, but that's not why we're here today. What I'm saying in essence is this: is that it's about time every single one of us go into sober reflection. Very, very important. Our erudites, special counsel have just said it here. All this whole, destructive, and because whatever you sow is what you reap. Those that choose to disobey Mazi Umeh is detrimental to them. And today we can see what is happening. A day will come, I will have a time to do a special program, but it's not going to be on this platform, because like we remind them, where they started and where they are now. I'm going to do a rerun again on them. But they might thinking, we don't just come out on social media and be ranting. No, it's not necessarily. Biafra Radio is hallowed. And this is where we worship. And our leader, Mazi Umeh, is the man and is the leader. He's our supreme leader. Onyendu, there's nothing anybody can put on table today that have superseded. Our leader said, I have 3 plans. Those that are close knows one. Whoever that is have to be the second in command, or whoever that he's choose, the other. But the rest of the 3 he knows. And that's what we are seeing today. So many people have beat their chest. Some people are saying that any mistake now will backfire. When he hears such words, no. You see, we cannot take away those that sold Mazi Umeh, but Onyendu have for one day mentioned, cares about those that sold him. Have you asked yourself a question? Why? We are wasting our energy and strength on things that doesn't matter. The person that involved has never for one day asked that, who sold me? That's why it is not a subject to us. Those that have done it, they will confess with their own mouth. Because as you can see today, the day, I said this from the beginning, the day they desecrate that hallowed palace of Afaliku Bake, they sow the seed of decoy. Until tomorrow morning, none of us will attest that things have not changed. What we're asking for is that everybody needs to keep focus If you're a genuine IPOB member, those sympathizers, and you understand that what we are fighting is a fight for a generation, we can see what is happening to our cousins, those that can actually defend themselves, and we are playing games with our life. Are we actually ready to govern ourselves with this attitude we've got, with this being unstableness that we've got? We don't have a tough skin. We can't resist pressure. Everywhere they drive you, you're there. Every little issue, you guys are, like floating like a balloon on top of ocean. There's nobody that will ever take us serious. I'm being honest with you. That's what I'm asking you. What happened after the terror attack in Israel? You don't hear so many people. Our Barrister Kechukwu was on Biafra Radio the other day, actually commenting. He played the voice of our people in Israel. No one reached out to them to find out how they are faring. Those that are claiming their leaderships. Very, very important. And the agendas of the enemy within, we see it is very clear to everybody. But my joy is that our leader is not a subject to Onyendu, because Onyendu knew that all these things will happen. And he have asked us to focus. And that is why we are doing what we are doing. And like I said, who owns your allegiance is a fundamental question. And all of us as an IPOB, we sworn an oath to restore Biafra. Mazi Umeh is still in the SS dungeon. He has not betrayed me and you. So why have you decided to abandon him? You guys, no one cares if Onyendu. What happens to our leader? All you guys do is to continue to be propagating lies and deceit in the name of Mazi Umeh. But you know what? Like I said, we need to go back. Majority of our people need to think. Because one thing I must tell you tonight is that you see this opportunity. If we miss it, just like the interview that Netanyahu, he gave you the history of Israel, how it happened. Probably we can. That's because there's no way. How is it going to be possible? Is it the kids we born here that are going to waste their time to go back to go and fight? Why they know that our parents and grandparents are completely failures? There's no way the kids are going to budge. Very fundamentally, they're not going to be bothered. I would tell my kids to don't bother. There's no need. If we miss this opportunity, I don't think that's ever again in our life we can be able. Because don't forget that even before they started recognizing our people in the zoo, it was IPOB that made it possible. Mazi Umeh. Nothing else. Our people has been obliterated already. They got few of them. Occurrence have never spoke, because Occurrence was created. It was that was like a systematic oppression that they brought in Biafra. Because after the Igbo Union failed, Occurrence was established. I think it wasn't in 70s or also after the war. Now IPES, I call it the IPES, but it was designed. That's why you see all these PGs and all these eBays that they're giving certificates just to make sure they held our people down. And they keep on giving you autonomous. Autonomous does not do you good. Autonomous is breaking you into pieces. Everybody wants to govern this. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And the moment they found out that our people are this very, very docile, Onyendu said our people are docile, imbecilic. And lots of people don't understand why Mazi Umeh has been crying. Everything that our leader have said has come to pass. I will tell you tonight. You need to worry about yourself. The only thing they are waiting for now, let me tell you what they're waiting for. You see them when you hear people saying that anything they do now will backfire. I laugh. You know why? Because they don't understand that who sent him shall go before him. The same thing we explained this in 2015 in a different. That's nothing different. The script. That's why it doesn't bother me. The script never changed, but because of the people within now have some access, but they will fail as they have failed already. That's why you hear them saying, if anything they do now will backfire. And they build people that will be pointing finger, forgetting themselves, because you're pointing one finger to people. The rest of the finger, 3 is pointing at you, because your thumb won't point at you unless you bend it. But the 3, once you point one on somebody, 3 is behind you. That's what you have seen for the last 26 to 27 months. Our leader was apprehended, kidnapped, tortured, and the committed crime against humanity. Extraordinary rendition is a crime on its own, which some of them didn't know what it was. But what I'm asking you tonight is, who owns your allegiance? Because it's going to be catastrophic. It is going to be catastrophic. If all of us will retreat our step now and start asking fundamental questions, forget about all these shenanigans, forget about all this jamboree. This is not where we're about. I'm telling you, we need to do a vigorous, rethink on where we are going, because let the world don't see us as a jokers. Is not going to be well with those that have soiled their hand at this point in time. After people have given their lives, it's not going to be easy. So I encourage all of you. And here in UK, we're definitely going to have our monthly meeting, which I'm going to put up the Zoom meeting. Regardless what the enemies are doing, because anyone told you that those that claim that they know better is now knowing our leaders' welfare, how Onyendu is faring, those that have been shouting that Mazi Umeh's life is in danger, ask them now, is Mazi Umeh's life still in danger or not? Because it's very important. People will not use Onyendu as their leeway, as a way of survival. Because without mentioning Mazi Umeh, you know that nothing will come out of it. And our people are so gullible that everywhere they push them, they will fall. It doesn't matter what you tell average Igbo man, because the same story that pastors have been telling you. Imagine someone that is not a pastor, and what is he going to do? Constant, because who are we going to blame? But what my question tonight, this allegiance is very important, because without loyalty, nobody will want to work with it. Because if you want to work with me, I want to know a little more about you. I will do investigation. How and what have you guys done? And how have you done it? So if you're projecting yourself today, probably you're this, you're that. And what if something happened tomorrow? What is going to be your end zone? I don't understand that. Very important. So they ganged up to make sure that Mazi Umeh will now. What the way I want to say it tonight, so you understand, but it's not going to happen. The only thing they are waiting for now is to Onyendu to tell them, you know what, I'm tired. Get me out of here. Let all these monkey and baboons go to hell. Now they will tell you, but we told you stop. That Mazi Umeh will sold out. The same thing they said in 2015, that Onyendu have sold out, Onyendu have collected money. When Onyendu, anytime they have issue of lifting election and all that, people say Onyendu collected money. But Onyendu was not there. He wasn't alone, because Onyendu have consensus. No matter how you want to build, how you want to fight to restore Biafra, you see those people that is in governance today in the zoo and our elders, it cannot go above them, even though you acquire all the whole God in the world. I'm making it abundantly clear. This particular Hamas attack Israel unprovoked. You have never seen before. They never announced it. They took that time walking. A barking dog does not bite. It's very, very something that is a practical thing. But only thing I'm saying is that it's about time all of us, start thinking deep. And all these things is, it's over 26 months now, if I'm not mistaken, or 27, 28 months. Onyendu has been held. And everybody have exhausted what every agendas they have is being exhausted. That's nothing else they will offer. But I will tell you, the only thing they are waiting for is to see if Mazi Umeh now will tell them, you know what, I'm tired. Because every single one of them have collected money to make sure they destroy IPOB within. You don't hear their voice anymore. there's nothing to talk about, because every single issue have now solved itself within itself, because they use their own mouth to confirm whatever that has happened in the past. And our leader is telling us to keep focused, because that is still, just like our barrister said, it is very important, because there's a particular tweet I like what he said in that tweet, and it is one thing we all need to focus upon this particular point in time, on the whole midst of all this blunted blackmails, because blackmails was, anybody thinks is a blackmailing, because when people know that you've been involved in blackmail, nobody will want to work with you. Like I said, even if you want to go to work, especially social media, leave it. Any country you knock on their door, they say, oh, those people fighting for Biafra. Okay, which group are you? Because they're going to ask the question. Because this is what they projected in 2015. There was a tripop, ripop. We never allowed it to excel until now. But there's a reason for it. Because all this whole thing will have to happen before we know where we are going. And that is why we're asking this question. Who owns your allegiance? Very important. Onyendu say 100 men and women with clean hearts, that Chukwuka Biama will give us Biafra. And don't forget that Onyendu, every single word our leader have uttered have come to pass. The only thing that is waiting now is that Biafra will be the last miracle. The day will happen, nobody will know. I will be the one to disappoint him. I'm not the one. This is the era we are in now. The era we are in now is 100 men, and I will not be the one to disappoint you. You are the one to disappoint me. That is the era we are in now. That's why I'm asking you, who owns your allegiance? Very, very important. I want you to go and ponder onto that. And having said that, because I have issues tonight with this program, I will definitely not going to be here for a long time, because I'm limited this evening. But I'm gonna go on a short break. After that, then I will be winding down. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music.
mana nkwụ na-atụ ngenge arọkwula rọnọ ya nyabụ na wedike n'ụwa mgbede ka mma na-azọsi ya igwe azọboche oli n'ike na ike ọchọ ngwa na ngwa onye ọbụla kwenyere n'ụwa mgbede ka mma na-ebido n'anyị gba ụwa mgbede ka mma ụwa mgbede ka enwetasịa na asụcha ya esusie ya ọkụ akacha ya akachasịa ya akpakọsịa ya ewesio ya afịfịa onye nwe ọlụchasịa ya ọ bụ na ji aka onye nwe ọsọ ya osibe ọrụba ọsọ ya olibi ibọsọli owelu n'ime akwa oligata bụ ọkpacha mụ oligata olisi ọkpụcha ọ bụla onye na-ese ọkpụcha akwa osisi afọ na-apụla oligole n'ọkwa ya ọgọbụla akwa ibu n'obido na n'igbo alibe
Yeah, welcome back. This is still Biafra Radio. Reaching you here from London. This is still Good Evening London with Mazi Umeh. This evening we encounter some issues technically, but we have to proceed. The fundamental question this evening is who owns your allegiance? Very, very important. This is not the time to give any excuses. Our leader Mazi Umeh is still languishing in DSS John for one reason: to restore Biafra. And our request is very simple: that the zoo should release our leader unconditionally. He committed no crime and give us a date for referendum. It is very, very important. But I want to say something here, because freedom is not given, it's taken. Freedom is not free either. And our readers' welfare is our primary concern. Every concerned IPOB member and Biafra at large must ask fundamental questions. This is not the time to play games. And over time, I heard people say they are tired, they are confused. Your tiredness and confusedness will not solve anything. Because if you're looking for someone should be complaining, and tiredness and confusedness should be our leader Mazi Umeh that is in DSS dungeon, isolated from his immediate family with his kids for over 27 months now and counting. And two parents has given up ghost because of the same quest to restore Biafra. And some of you think that this is something you think is a jamboree or this is a play. Of course not. So we must, be very, 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 very prudent in what we do. This is not a game. A lot of people have given their life. That was a video I wanted to play from our elder barrister, wouldn't allow me for some reason. I don't know, but I think I'm going to try and see if I can get that video back. I just wanted him to contribute something before I will call it a night, because it's very, very important. He is the only one. He comes out for other colleagues that these are the people that speak to our leader 101 on a weekly basis. So whatever they say is what you must take. When a man is being incarcerated, the only way you can find his trust is eminent, lawyers and attorneys, however you want to accredit them. Yeah, but his life now become his first love because they are the people that have access to him.
Adjudicated by the Court of Appeal expeditiously. We had.
So I think the video, I want to retry. I want you to listen to what he's saying here. Very important.
This very strong confidence that the appeal has a lot of merit. So let us just go by the proposition that the Court of Appeal determined the appeal quickly enough and removed the terrorist tag on IPOB and de-proscribed it. And the can wouldn't have been rendition from Kenya because there wouldn't be any basis in law to charge him as a terrorist or as a leader of a terrorist organization if the Court of Appeal had reversed that very egregious ruling of the Federal High Court ex parte that declared IPOB a terrorist organization in early 2018. So
I don't know if some of you understand where our special counsel, when IPOB was forcefully, when the zoo obtained ex parte to designate IPOB as a terrorist organization, and those that were handling our case then wasn't doing anything because it is a stigma. And they know the game they were playing in. All these people wasn't in it to win it. Because regardless how you want to put yourself, zoo is still a sovereignty. So they quickly designated IPOB terrorist organization, but the Fulani killer machines were there. Even Boko Haram was not designated within. It was internationally designated designated as a terrorist organization. But till tomorrow morning, Nigeria has not designated Boko Haram as a terrorist organization. But they quickly went with the collaboration of the Southeast governors to designate IPOB. But the so-called barristers that were handling our cases never move a muscle. I want him to finish.
As counsel in the matter, and as counsel who knows very well the merits of this case, we have had this thinking that why is the Court of Appeal not hearing this matter? I don't want to preempt the court, but when this sort of thing happens, the man on the street might start thinking that is it because.
Did you hear what he just said? Why is the Court of Appeal not hearing? Because it was forcefully expected. But the so-called lawyers were there when the zoo went because they're working in collaboration with them. It's quite obvious. They know what the great IPOB terrorist organization has done because some of them have made fortunes. What they were doing is every IPOB, they lock you up, they will ask for a request for money. That's what has been. They have not won any physical case because we don't have any case to answer. But the deal was that this great IPOB terrorist organization, now we don't have any right to assemble anywhere. Once they deem me as an IPOB, they will arrest you, then they will request money. This is when you said it. This is what has been happening. All the people they release, we have paid ransom. We have paid ransom to every single IPOB member that were released by these individuals. But now, this special counsel is questioning why is Court of Appeal is not hearing this particular case because he was unjustly tapped the IPOB terrorist organization, which the world refused. But Fulani herdsmen, killing machines that have killed, maimed, we are not designated as a terrorist organization. But now they're not talking about the Court of Appeal. Very, very important. I want him to finish before I say something.
Because the case has merit, and the Court of Appeal, somebody somewhere, not the Court of Appeal, somebody somewhere is feeling that there is no other way of determining this case except to say that the order prescribing IPOB was not a good order and reverse it. So it affected Mazi Umeh and it also affected thousands of IPOB members within Nigeria who have either been arrested, detained, tortured, or even extrajudicially killed based on this terrorist tag. The rules of engagement of Nigerian security forces when they
in life, I keep on saying this, but everybody must love their job. But we must be very careful. Because what Barrister Aloy Ejimako, which is special counsel to Onyendu Mazi Umeh and IPOB at large, is making here. His submission is making. He wasn't in charge of this particular case when IPOB was designated. And the people that were in charge never did anything, just like every other thing they have done in the past. But this is weird. But they knew, they understand with the rule of engagement in the zoo. He understands, he's saying it the way it is, because without no fear or favor. Because every single thing that happening today in Biafra land emanated from designated IPOB terrorist organization. And the so-called governors, they are aware of the backlash of that and what's going to cost our people. And that's why today our land is desolate. But the people that are claiming that you are out on Umuchineke, they didn't do anything. They don't move a muscle. They don't. We have been in the limbo for fucking how many years now? In the limbo. Since 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 23. It's 5 good years on a limbo. Court of Appeal is not hearing a case that we have forcefully obtained ex parte to designate and a people, over 70 million people were designated terrorist organization. That's why they come to our land and kill at will. What makes you think they're rolling their tanks, armor tanker in our land? Do you think that's their rule of engagement? It's very simple. The zoo have not won any war, even though the whole peacekeeping they won. No, they haven't. But listen to our special counsel, because now things are open. Things must be said. We are waiting for those that are threatening when they come out, because we will have a day for them. We don't need to talk about this, because this game needs to stop. It has to stop.
A counter-terrorist is shoot to kill, not even shoot to man. If you are lucky, you will be arrested and unreasonable force may be levied on you, but they may spare your life. So the reason that we are very dead set and very passionate about bringing this appeal to closure and hopefully winning it is to remove that danger confronting millions of supposed IPOB members, because there's nobody that wears IPOB as a label or has it stamped on his face. So the law enforcement authorities go on suppositions and assumptions. So mostly Igbo youths and some from the south, they just have to have this minimal suspicion that you possess the characteristics of being an IPOB member. There's no register. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm very happy that our special counsel, delivered this note. Now, very important. The same thing happened. Some of us forgotten that when Onyendu House was invaded in 2017, that matter was not filed officially. I'm not even aware today if they filed it officially, because when they brought that matter to Bintayaku could throw it away, because the matter was not officially filed in her court. It was mere propaganda. People were granting interview all over the place based on what happened in Onyendu's house. But as a lawyer, doing the job that you've been paid to do, to you to be actually put this in black and white paper, because in this life, when you come to paperwork, if you miss one, it can cost you everything. It can cost you everything. There was no physical any evidence or black and white paper filed that Onyendu house was invaded by the army. Terrorists in uniform that killed 28 men, including Jack, on anywhere in the zoo court of law. And he brought that case in court as what? The same thing now. IPOB issue convoluted when IPOB was designated, domestically, because it was domestically the designated IPOB terrorist organization without no provocation. To them to have now access to massacre our people, and our so-called elite accepted it because all of them were in it together. But you know what? The will of Chukwuka must surely be done. We must pass through this phase. All these hurdles is what's meant to be. We have to go through this process because, as you can see, a lot of evil are manifesting, and so many more is going to come up. It's not going to stop here, In every freedom fighting, they always have an in-house fighting. His enemy within is the biggest thing he must fight in every freedom fighting. If you need any revolution, there must be an in. Even here in United Kingdom, people will rebel. People that left this country in a ship and went to America, that New England, these people that bought ship here, they didn't believe in monarch, that every man was born equal. They find their way on the Atlantic Ocean and head to America. That's where all of them reside and build a new life. So there must be people that is uncomfortable. All of us, that's a fact of life. Everything is not going to be smooth. And that's why it's called freedom fighting. That's why it's called struggle. At the end of the day, every forces will manifest. But the end thing is that, how do we believe in what we are doing? Our hands are clean. Are we fighting a just cause? Unprovoked. So it's important that we take this home. And I want to thank our special counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimaka. Continue doing what you're doing because you are passionate and your professionalism next to nothing. And we appreciate all you have doing for IPOB. That's not appraisal. I only say when you do good, we praise you. When you mess up, then we shred you. And there's no cost for not acknowledging what you're doing. It's very important that everybody understand this. It's fact of life. And like I said, this program tonight was a bit sketchy. So much issue with technical issues, but my apologies. Is unforeseen circumstances which I was on the system 1 hour prior before I come on air. But, what can I say? And I can't say there's anything that happened. It's a technical issue. So let's absorb it and move forward. And I think I'm going to bring this program to a halt here. And I thank all of you that have listened to me this evening. And subsequently, I'm definitely going to be on air next week. And other fellow comrade, we are follow suit. And this is Biafra Radio once again. And we are here in UK. And my name's Mazi Umeh. And thank all of you that have listened to us this evening. May Chukwu Kabema continue to bless every single one of us. Most importantly, to guide and protect and fortify our leader. I know that Okikeda sending will never forsake him. May the Chukwu Kabema, may his mighty hand as he delivered Daniel from the lion den, may he, Okike himself, continue to be the supervisor over our leader's life. Not man. The evil that men have wished to do is what their generation will reap. There's no two ways about it. It doesn't matter what anybody think. This is a practical thing, and is something that is can, whenever you do things, if you go to the mirror and look at yourself as you reflect back, so whatever you do will surely come back to you. This karma is real, and it will boomerang. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but it's going to take us more time. So every single one of you that have hand in what is happening today, may Chukwu Kabiyama serve you that food in a cold manner. That is my prayer for you. But if your hands are clean, may Chukwu Kabiyama make sure your families are blossom. Thank you for listening. From me from here. It's good evening.
One verse 1 osinini onye kele soni ekele ya na so idi na so onto old school gbagbodo no mi nkan ti da umona epazia umona Izuka Mana